Good morning. Okay, this was the final look. Okay, so I'm going to bake the dough that I made yesterday, the loaves. So, getting clean gloves. And I use a parchment paper and a bread sling. And I put a little pizza sheet underneath on the lower rack under my Dutch oven. So this loaf is the everything bagel loaf for Nana. I'm going to, it's just a small loaf, so I'll probably only charge her about $13 for it. And it's smaller than my normal loaf. And the other loaf, I'm going to do an open bake on a baking sheet. So I do sprinkle a little bit of rice flour on the parchment paper as well. And bake it at, I've got my Dutch oven preheating at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, of course. And it's been in there for a half hour, which is more than enough. You don't need to heat it up more than that. Some people say 15 minutes is good. I'm finding that half hour is better. You want a nice heated Dutch oven. So this one will go in the Dutch oven. The other one I'm just going to do on a baking sheet and see how that turns out. It's for us, so that'll be fine. Need a little more. Okay, this should come out just fine. And then I'll give it a score. See how it looks. Now I can squeeze it shut. It's a little dry here. Why? That's weird. It was covered. Must have been a hole in there or something. Anyway, you don't want it to dry out. That's why we cover it. Oh my goodness. Interesting. Let's see how this turns out. Might not be for sale. All right. It's just a small loaf. This might even be just a $10 loaf. Okay. I don't know. I might not give this one away. I might have to do another one for Nana. It looks too small. Okay, so this is my scoring. I'm just going to do a little bit on the side here. Oh yeah, my surface is dried out. What happened? It's not even cutting. There we go. And then bigger ones on the bottom. And then a nice curvy one on top. Sorry, my husband called. So this little loaf will probably be just for me, and I'll do a bigger loaf for my customer. So once it's scored, as you can see I've done, I'm just going to bring out to the Dutch oven, and we're going to bake it for about 9 minutes at 450 with the lid on, and then I'll go in and rescore the loaf if it needs it, and then bake it for another 15 minutes at 450 with lid on. Then we lower the temperature to 400 and bake it for another 20 minutes with the lid off. So, cute little loaf it should be. Not sure why the surface dried a little bit, so I don't think I'll give this loaf to my customer. All right, going in for 9 minutes. And then I'll show you the finished product. Just to be clear, I put it in for 9 minutes, open it up, just to make sure I rescore so that it gives it a bigger ear. Then I put it in for 15 more minutes with the lid on. Then I lower the temperature for to 400, and I bake with lid off for another 20 minutes. This loaf is a little smaller, so I'll probably check it at 18 minutes, 17 or 18 minutes, and see how it's looking. And then I'll do an open bake with the second loaf.